Hello and welcome to the Portugal press conference ahead of the UEFA Nations League semi-final clash here tomorrow. Same rules apply as before, questions either in German, English or Portuguese. Over to you, Francisco.
So we will answer in Portuguese and we'll keep the club's question to one question, and I'm going to give the first question to, could be a bola. Here.
Olá Bruno, boa tarde. João Pimpim para o jornal A Bola.
Hi Bruno.
O Bruno vem de uma época difícil, foi uma época dura.
You had a tough season with Manchester United. Is Germany going to be the scapegoat?
Obviamente toda a gente está a par da.
Well, of course, everybody knows the season that we've had at the club. It was a tough season. We had goals and we didn't meet them.
E obviamente acaba por fazer parecer tudo muito negativo, mas.
And this casts a negative light on everything. But this is something different. This is the national team. I love being here, and I'm always willing and able, and I'm always happy to represent the national team.
Possa isso acontecer, seria bom sinal não só para mim, mas também para a nossa seleção.
And I hope we can reach the final.
Perguntava, olhando para a história,
looking back, statistically, Portugal has only beaten Germany 3 times, and every time it's been a heroic effort. Are you prepared to come here and beat Germany at home and leave happy? We've been preparing very well. Bygones are bygones. We want to write new history, and to that end we need to beat Germany and reach the final. They're one of the best teams in the world, but so are we. We want to make the best of our positive sides. We have a lot of players that can put on heroic efforts, and if one player or another has a moment of inspiration, we have players that can help us win the game. But as a team, we know how hard we have to work to beat this amazing national team. Bruno, I know this is the national team, but it's not often that we get to talk to you, and we have to ask, because your name's been bandied around regarding Saudi Arabia. What can you tell us? Have you made a decision? And now going back to the national team. Sorry, just one question. This is it. I'd like you to drop this subject, please, but I will answer. There was an opportunity. The president of Al Hilal called me and asked me if I wanted to move there. They waited for me to think about my future, because I always said that if Manchester thought it was the time to move on, that I'd be willing to do so. I talked to the gaffer, RUBEN, and at the time he asked me not to go. I then talked to Man United. They said they didn't want to sell me. If I wanted to go, I could, but they didn't need the money. They didn't need to sell me. It was a very exciting offer. The president of Al Hilal, he was very nice to me. They talked to my manager, but then I talked to my wife, and as a family we wanted to see what I wanted to do. That's what she asked me. What do you want to do with your future? That's what she asked me. Never she said yes or no, or never she offered to make the decision for me. She's always been behind me in every decision. It would be easy to change, even from a family point of view. Ruben Neves is there, Cancelo is there. Our kids are used to one another. I'm used to them, but I want to play at the highest possible level. I want to play for major competitions. I know I still can, and I want to be happy doing the thing I love the most. And for better or worse, I'm still very passionate about football. This is how I see football. This is how I see my life and my future, and I'm happy about the decision I made.
Só alguém pergunta?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Peço desculpa.
Yeah. Thank you. In English, please, okay?
No. Here. We'll get there.
Bruno, boa noite. Luís Aresta, Rádio Renascença.
Good evening, Bruno. Julian Nagelsmann, sort of as a joke, said that maybe the three players who came from PSG had a few beers and they won't be up to playing against Germany. What do they look like, especially the ones that came from the Champions League final? Well, not 3, 4. It's actually 4. But regardless of how many beers they've had, they're amazing players. They're very ambitious players. They're more motivated than ever. They've just had the highest moment in their careers. I couldn't be happier for them and for what they're going through right now. They're amazing kids, very humble. They work very hard. They are very above average, all of them. And all of us, we hope that the positive energy they bring and all the good things they did during this season and all the good things they brought with them, that they can display it out there tomorrow. I'm sure they're more than ready for that. We have no doubts that they will do so. And we know that Germany is concerned about them because they are amazing players and they can make a difference during the match.
Olá, boa tarde. Ricardo Miguel Gonçalves 00. A Liga das Nações muitas vezes
the Nations League sometimes is seen because it's a newer competition. It's not as important as the World Cup or as the Euros.
Pergunto qual é que é a importância que os jogadores atribuem até porque
how important do players think this is, and this is the only international competition you've won, Bruno, and now going into the Final Four.
Vem muito esta Final Four como uma espécie de preparação.
Many coaches see this Final Four as ramping up to the preparation for the World Cup next year. Is this ramping up to the World Cup, or is this competition with its own worth? Some competitions are more important than others. The World Cup is the most important one. The Euros is the second most important one, and the Nations League, because of the number of teams involved here, is slightly less. It's a 1 week long competition. It has the group stage, of course, throughout the year. But a win is a win. A trophy is a trophy, regardless of what it's called. It's a competition that we can win for our country.
Eu prefiro jogar a Final Four da Liga das Nações do que
I prefer to play the Final Four than to play 2 friendlies at the end of the season. I think it'll be more competitive, and I think it's an opportunity to represent our country and to be able to raise a cup. In 2019 we felt this. We played it at home. We felt it. We talked about it in the group. It was the first time that we played and won a competition, and we played and won in the north of Portugal, and everybody there celebrated with the national team. And so I think that for us, it is important. I won't say that it's more important than the Euros or the World Cup, but it is important. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have the best players to play, and we wouldn't be focused on trying to do our best to reach the final.
Vou dar aqui à luz e depois vou encerrar contigo, Miguel. 2 more questions in Portuguese and then we'll get to...
2 more questions in Portuguese, and then over to English. Or foreign press.
We'll get there.
Olá, Bruno. Luís Gropa da Lusa. Queria pegar nisso, falou em 2019.
You mentioned 2019. Can you compare the team of 2019 to this team? Are there similarities, differences? Of course, there's always differences. The generations change, the routines, the schemes, and the quality changes. It was a somewhat different national team than what we have right now, but the best teams are the ones that win, and we want to be a winning team. And again, we want to win a trophy for Portugal. And regardless of whether it's the first, second, or third competition, we're always proud, and everybody in the group is focused on trying to do what we did in 2019. It's the only thing we're thinking of. The last question in Portuguese, please.
Também, há pouco já falámos na Flash, a questão do desgaste tem sido
Bruno, we've mentioned wear and tear from a player's point of view. You've played 74 matches. Are you more physically tired, more emotionally tired? There's a lot of pressure at the end of the season. There's pressure to win this. Of course, there is a bit of wear and tear. We've talked about this issue at length, where we don't own the solution. We want to display, we want to put our good football on display. We want people that pay for this ticket to enjoy a good show. It's been a very tough and long season, but it's better to play to win than to be playing to not to go down. We've almost had a week of R&R, and now there's a very short week to do our best to win, and then we'll go into a long-awaited vacation, because some will play the Club World Cup, but we have to be at our best, but players must also rest their bodies and minds in order to put on a good show.
Questions in English and...
So, thank you. At first, sorry if somebody already asked something like this. I'm just not speaking Portuguese. Several players from the national team just have won the Champions League final. That's such a big deal. I think that in some countries, maybe a trainer already can just be a little bit worried because the players just could, I don't know, get drunk for the next 3 days and not be available for the next games. So what do you think? There is such a short time between these tournaments, and are these players already mentally and physically prepared for these games? What do you think?
We will see. I hope so. Obviously, they're 4 important players for us. They've been brilliant during all season. Obviously, it's been a long season for them because they got into in the final of the cup in France. They got into the final of the Champions League. So it's been a long season for them. But obviously, they had a short period to celebrate their win. But they eager to win again and to celebrate again in the end of this competition. So that's a good sign. They can celebrate twice, and it's going to make it even more special because they win with the national team.
Okay, here. Can you identify yourselves, please?
Hi, Bruno. Florian Plettenberg from Sky Germany. Can you explain your opinion about Joao Palhinha and his situation with FC Bayern, and would you recommend him to stay here in the stadium with FC Bayern? Thanks.
Well, I'm not inside the club to know what's going on, why he's not playing as much as he wanted, obviously, and we know how eager he is to work hard, to train as much as he can to be prepared to mentally and physically to play the games. Obviously, the jump he did is a very big jump for a big and massive club as Bayern is, but obviously I'm not inside the club to know what's going in in this moment with him, but I'm pretty sure that he's prepared to play for the national team. He's been training very hard and very well. Obviously, he's in a big club. He has to be the one deciding if he's the best for him or not. But I know that for him, it's about setting himself and trying to show everyone that he's capable of playing in this kind of stages, and he's very eager to do that. If he's going to stay or not, that's a question for him.
Here.
Hi Bruno, I'm Phúc from Vietnam. I have one question for you. Who do you think is the most dangerous player in the German team?
They have a lot of good players. Obviously, for me, the most dangerous player for them is not playing. Luckily for us, that is Musiala. Is probably for me. I've been speaking with Joshua Zirkzee about him a lot because they're very good friends. Is for me at the moment, if not the best, one of the best number 10s in the world. Is a very young, talented player that has so much to give to football. Luckily for us, he's not in the game.
Here, Bruno, Sergio Levinsky, Jornada Group of Argentina. Cristiano Ronaldo is a wonderful player, but now he's 40. What do you think, what is the role now in the group of Cristiano Ronaldo in this moment? Thank you.
Digo em inglês ou em português, em espanhol?
Do you prefer in English or in Portuguese? The answer.
No, the role for Cristiano is always the same. He's scoring goals. That's what he does the best. He's one of the best. He's the best goal scoring in the world. He wants to get more and more goals into his locker, and we're very happy that he can do it every time that he steps on the pitch. He's a top scorer also for national teams. He wants to improve that number so no one can catch him, and hopefully for us he's gonna keep scoring, and tomorrow is gonna be one of those days.
So we are going to close this press conference. I would like to thank Bruno. It's been a long wait since we started, and now we are going to welcome Mr. Martinez and excuse Bruno.
Thank you. Obrigado.
Posso ir? Pode.